Hello everyone. A few weeks ago I set the challenge to you of writing a short story. Boys writing a short story with help from their parents, which was absolutely fine. The challenge was that the short story had to be very short and it had to be fewer than 280 characters, the length of a tweet. The range of stories was fantastic and I can't read them all to you, but I thought I'd share a few today. The first one was from Bradley in reception. Now Bradley went over the 280 characters, but I thought his story was great, so I'm going to read you a bit of it, and it's called In the Woods. It was a sunny day at Mushroom Cottage. Red and Green Mushroom were planning to visit the woods. After they arrived at the woods, Green Mushroom said, "Let's build a tree house." And so it goes on. I'll leave the rest to your imagination. The next one comes from Charlie in 8C, and this I thought was a story that was very representative of the times. Within the depths of OneNote, there were always more pressing lessons set than the history project that seemed to multiply into more endless tasks. Within those tasks, yet more tasks. The trouble was that none of these folders could ever be complete, no matter how hard you worked. Another Charlie, this time in 6B. The boys entered. A mistake. They were locked in. They had to find their way out. Suddenly, creatures were throwing gas balls. They ached with pain and ran. They locked the door, but it was rattling on its hinges. Suddenly a man, no, a ghost, whispered, "Their weakness is water, freedom." Derek in 1SH. Once, there were two aliens. They came from Mars. They wanted to explore the Earth, so they travelled there in their spaceship. Just then, they saw a beautiful house in England. They landed on the grass and went inside. Nobody lived in the house. They said, "We could stay in this beautiful house and don't have to go back to Mars." The two aliens lived there happily ever after. And this one, another year one, from Ethan and William Brown. The rainbow looked down on the land, beautiful under sun and rain. The rainbow saw a sick boy and lifted him in his arms to the hospital. Now the boy is better. When he looks at the rainbow, it reminds him that in difficult times there are reasons to be happy and thankful. Jacob in 7C wrote a historical short story. Nothing was more shameful than returning without the eagle. I shouldn't have survived the battle. A true Roman was meant to win the battle or die protecting it, the eagle, and with it, his honour. I couldn't look at my superiors as I pondered the penalty of my failure. Death. And this one from Jack in year 4. Rushing through the woods, feeling free and wild, faster and faster until I find my stride. The pheasants scatter and my heart flutters. The trees fly by, bright green leaves, pink and white blossoms, up and down the dips. I'm getting better at the jumps. Speeding down the hills, I'm a bright red blur. I love my daily bike ride. Max in year 3. The garden has not heard the news. The birds and bees can't read, and they wouldn't stay inside anyway. The garden is their classroom, and in lockdown, I'm learning from them. They know the things that are most important: fresh air, beautiful colours, and the freedom to move. And one more from Tom in 8C. The breeze was as harsh as ice in the wooded prison. There, in the middle of the moors, lay an oak lodge, contained with secrets which mortal men could never fathom. A man bursts out while panting for air. He simply points his finger, and the wind and whatever inside the cabin stopped. He walked back in like nothing ever happened. Well done, boys. I'm sorry I couldn't read them all, but thank you all for having a go. If you want another go, I'd be really happy to receive it. Well done.